Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee members. My name is Chris King, and I've been a county commissioner for the past 17 years. And I and almost all of the 45,000 residents of Wharton County are adamantly opposed to the Trans-Texas corridor. I've seen a great many things emerge from the legislative process, but in all my years of public service, I've never witnessed an action so devastating in its effect and so lacking in the public process as the TTC. Today, millions of ordinary Texans are either ill-informed or totally unaware of its true intent. The transparency of this process in the eyes of many does not exist. Those of us here today represent thousands of Texans back home who would like to have a say concerning the merits of this project. I'm now going to read you a little footnote from the annals of Texas history that I think are relevant to this case. The year was 1838. After gaining independence from Mexico, the Republic of Texas was facing severe financial difficulties. The U.S. was reluctant to annex as a state a country whose primary assets were land controlled mostly by Indians and contested by Mexico, and whose debts far exceeded its ability to pay. Vice President David Burnett took an unprecedented step and called the Texas Senate into secret session. Ordering the doors of the meeting room locked, he called the Senate to order. Burnett then revealed that he, the President Lamar, and a few others had a plan to replenish the Treasury. They had made a deal with Mississippi bankers who would fill the Treasury with money in exchange for notes giving the bank control of all lands and resources of the Republic. But the public must never know about the Texas land going on the sale block. There was violent objection from the floor. Senator Robert Wilson, representing his constituency of Harrisburg, stated he knew the bankers involved. They were unscrupulous. The plan was unsound and unethical. And even to consider such a scheme in secret was a crime against the people of Texas. Amen. Robert Wilson was a staunch supporter of Texas and its people. Throughout Texas, he was known as Honest Bob, because he contended he was always as honest as the circumstances of the issue and the condition of the country would allow. Faced with opposition, Burnett ordered Wilson to sit down and shut up, to which Honest Bob swore that no power but God's could keep him silent about this or any other measure calculated to injure the country. With that, he marched out into the street where he publicly announced what the Vice President was trying to do. After much debate, the supporters of Burnett tabled the action, but demanded and got the expulsion of Honest Bob from his seat in the Senate on the grounds of misconduct. A special election was called to refill the position. Honest Bob's faith in his constituents was well-founded, and he was almost unanimously re-elected. A mob of his supporters mounted him on a makeshift throne and carried him into the Senate chambers and placed Wilson in his seat. However, political reprisals were many, and Wilson never again held public office. But his heroic stand paid off. The plan to sell the Republic was crushed, and when Texas entered the Union years later, it did so with its lands intact. Through Honest Bob's efforts, Texas land did not become the property of private interest. Now, this story has a striking resemblance to the issue we're discussing here today. Amen. Texas has still a great need for heroes like Honest Bob, leaders like yourselves, who will lead the charge to protect the interest of real Texans from those who would profit from their loss. We citizens of Texas to implore you to come to our aid and preserve what so many of us have worked a lifetime to build, our homes and our farms. God and Texas. Thank you. Thank you.